Hello everyone and welcome back to High Button Sports here as we get set for some more hockey. We got the Atlantic Knights playing their second game of the tournament here and second game of the day, the final game of today. There'll be two more tomorrow, but this is a big game in the seedings here as the Knights taking on the Fredericton Hounds. The Fredericton Hounds losing 4-2 this morning. So they're looking for some redemption, and they need a big game here to come back and have a chance to play for gold tomorrow. But we'll be starting off here down the right side, and lucky for us, we've got the correct numbers for this game, so it should be a lot better in that sense. And I can even tell you who took that shot, Alec Dan. So Alec Dan leading us off here with that first shot on net there, and then one forward by Dan as that gets worked into the corner. Chased down, Nick Abbott going down, handing that off to Dan. Dan behind the net, he sees no one, so he holds. Gets that puck stripped off him on the left side and now cut through the middle. Hounds work that out to the right side. Cutting in, that one shot off to the left. Picked up now and dropped back in the zone. Chased in and worked out the left side. That'll fall out, leaving the Hounds a chance to pull back and turn it around here. A big game this morning for the Knights, winning 7-0 as that puck's turned over. Good job there, just surveying at the top of that blue line. A lot of turnovers can be made in that zone, and just like you saw right there, working that puck in. That was a good play by Adam Zhao, number 19. Good game for Zhao this morning as he hands that off to Bowen. Bowen works that over to the right side. That puck's picked up by Pelkey. Pelkey then tries to work that out in front, but gets intercepted, and now Zhao back to help pick that up, and it gets sent in to the offside, delayed offside there, so giving time for the Hounds to work that out. They work it to the right side and try to send that down back to Henneberry. So I think I had a little mistake this morning. That is Henneberry there in the number 88 Chibukto player. That one worked up the right side now, picked up, sent towards the middle and steered out of harm's way, and now cutting down in the middle here, Zhao. He's going to try to just slide that one into the left side, but it gets worked over to Cranston. Cranston then back to the line. That one's picked up by Henneberry. Henneberry sends it in. That's tipped aside. Picked up now by Cranston. Cranston over to Zhao in front. He'll go down tumbling, and it'll be intercepted now by the Hounds who try to work that out through middle, and Jollymore gets clipped on the leg there kind of, and now it'll be back the other way into the offensive zone here. Cranston, that one can't make it through the three players there, and it gets flipped back the other way. Hounds left winger now sending that in, and Jollymore making a diving play there to strip the puck, and it gets worked into the left corner. Picked up now by Henneberry. Henneberry tries to shoot that out, it gets intercepted there on the right side, and now worked in behind. Sent up to the left, and now a little touch pass there, and it'll be Jollymore through the zone. Jollymore hands that off, and Cranston takes a nice shot at that. Gets worked out in front, they're still battling for it. There's a good little rush there by Jollymore, the D-man, as that one gets worked over to the right side, looking for the shot, and it gets flipped up just high. Misses there on the right side, and now we'll pull back the other way. Here's the Hounds get intercepted in the zone by Dan. Dan staying on that puck, it gets worked into the right-hand side, and then try to keep it in on the line, and a good job keeping it on the line there is Thorne. Number 27 there on D. Thorne with a big play, and then that one gets worked out to the middle. Chased out of the zone there, and a little bank pass off the right side. They're trying to play that in, and it'll be worked into the corner, but retrieved there by the Hounds, played in behind the net. Chased after in the back left corner. Trying to play that up now. In through center. Chasing after that will be Nick Abbott. Nick Abbott trying to put pressure on as he'll chase that puck, and he'll be the first to retreat that in the bottom right corner. Picked up and man down. No arm goes up on the referee. Puck gets worked out in front. Exiting the zone now. Into the right side. Hounds looking to cut in front of the net there. That one gets steered aside, but a big rebound and a nice save there by Rogerson. Now into the middle and another pad save by Rogerson. Rogerson with a shutout earlier today in that 7-0 victory, and he did have a couple good saves. Maybe not too many shots, but he made some good pad saves, and 2 more to match here to start the first period. As that puck gets worked in behind the net there. Thorne sends that around to the right side, caught on the wing, and now out of the zone. Chased after there by Cranston. Cranston allows the man to go in behind the net and circle back, and diving into that play. Puck turned over there in front now, cutting back the other way and stopped up as Alec Dan lifts his hands up. He was going for that nose to the net after a collision in the corner that caused some of the parents on the Hounds side to throw their arms up like how wasn't that called, but the arms stayed down. Dan got the shot on and we got a whistle. Interesting to note that 8 penalty minutes for the Hounds in their first game this morning. That was the most out of the tournament. So interesting to see that they racked up 8 minutes compared to the 4 and 2 of the other teams. That might have played into the 4-2 loss they suffered. There's definitely some time on the penalty kill if you're getting 8 minutes in a what would be 20 or 39-minute game, as that one gets wrapped around the boards. Worked over to the right side and just kept in the zone there, but it actually does fall out of the zone as Henneberry tries to play that in, and it gets by and worked over to the left side, chased after. Now worked up the right. Held on to into the zone, shot on, and that one easily covered up, and we'll have another whistle on the play here with 6:22 to go in the first. A lot of play here in the Hounds end, but not too many great chances yet in front, and no breakaways yet for this Knights team. The ref's telling him to back it up a bit. Cranston wins that over to the right side and then plays that back to the line. Look down, Thorne tries to keep that in, but it'll fall by him, and now it'll be a foot race down the left side, and Thorne cuts the man off. And the refs really hearing it from the parents there, as they thought another call should have been called against the Knights, and a little breakout pass there to the middle, and it'll be skated back the other way. Caught up too cleanly though, and can't quite get the breakaway he was looking for. Worked over, and Zhao and Cranston fight for it on the left side, but it gets worked around the other side and split back to the D, and it'll give a chance for the Hounds to send that in the right side. That'll be sent down for, will be an icing, so we'll head back to our end here with 5:37 left in the first period. 0-0 game still. And if you don't know who I am, my name's Jeff Warburton. I work for High Button Sports here doing the live streaming, going around doing the home and away games for many teams around the HRM area. And if you're interested in live streaming or you haven't seen us before, make sure you check out our social medias, as we've got podcasts and mic'd up videos, podcasts with Nathan McKinnon, who came on this summer, merchandise, and lots more. So check out the High Button brand. And if you're interested in the streaming part, email thehighbutton@gmail.com, and maybe we could be streaming your games and the playoff pushes that start in the second half of the season as we approach the Christmas break. But that puck worked into the right side, and a nice tight save there pardon me, by the goaltender, as Nick Abbott, with a nice little power move off the left wing, cuts that to the net and just can't squeak it by. Puck dropped in there and one forward, chased after and wrapped around the boards. There, Alec Dan, the face-off man here for one of the 2 lines, as the delayed offside allows the puck to get out, and now they'll cut in down the right side looking for a shot in. That one ricochets off the pad into the back right corner. Picked up now in the zone by Abbott, as Abbott takes on 2 Hounds members. The puck still not loose as they go at it there in the corner, and it'll eventually come with the right side. Picked up and then played up the right. Hounds break it in, and Henneberry catches up just enough to break up that play, and it gets worked over to the right winger, heading down now. And a bit of an approach of throwing themselves at McKinnon out there. Rossi McKinnon, as he was trying to work that down the right side, and the defense just kind of threw caution to the wind, and I guess the puck's the other way, so it worked as the Hounds worked that down, and a hard shot there that is saved by Rogerson as he sends that one into the back corner, and the puck will clear out. Picked up in the zone now and wrapped out the right side. Puck bounced off the wall and sent on in. End boards sent around, picked up there by the Hounds first as the Knights had the winger Pelkey a little high in the zone as that one gets worked over and Pelkey tries to catch up to it, but it'll be sent down for what is an icing and will head to the Knights' end. Still 0-0 with 3:27 in this first period and the second game of the tournament here. It's pretty evenly matched here so far. I can count 3 good shots from the Hounds side and probably 2 so far from the Knights. The play has been in the Hounds zone, so maybe trying to set up that perfect play a little too much. Maybe try to get some more pucks on net, see if you could test this goalie. I know we got some strong shooters on the Knights side as that one gets steered out in front and it gets worked into the back right corner. Now in along the half wall and dropped behind the net there. Into the right corner, worked out front, big chance for an opportunity here, shot, scores! Is that one sniped top shelf on and off the stick in a hurry. And that gives the Hounds the lead. And we had a good angle of that here on the camera as that one just right where you want it, right where you drew it up, right where you shot against the dryer last night. Good shout there for the Hounds, and they'll be up 1-0, and the first time the Knights trail in this tournament. Puck went over to the right side, and Hounds looking to keep that pressure on. This gets worked in the zone, looking for a shot in. That one steered aside, and it's in the back of the net, and it rolled up the stick of Rogerson and foot into the back of the net, and that's 2 quick goals within about 10 seconds. And Rogerson goes to skate it off there, and I'm not sure what I just saw, but I guess I could go back to that shooter's mentality we were talking about. How important that is to get that puck on net. And just that second shot just threw it on there on the right side, and it rolls up the stick and finds the back of the net, and now the Knights are down 2-0 as that puck gets worked into the right side. McKinnon tries to play with it. Hounds then work it out through the middle. Chased after and then sent back in the zone. Hounds going to retreat and pick up. Grabbed onto that, worked over to the left side, now up the middle for that breakout pass. It'll be a 2-on-1 the other way, and it'll just be offside as the right winger, who was all the way up at the blue line from the time that pass connected, couldn't stay in. As the pucks work back to Jollymore. Jollymore sends that out with a pass over to the right side. It'll be a free puck for whoever can get there first, which is the Hounds, as they work that into the corner, and he runs into the wall. Didn't really know where he was, I suppose. He turned that over, but he gets bailed out by what I presume is the center there on the Hounds, as he sends that up to the middle, and that puck's tipped the other way. In on the boards. That one drops back and hits the skate, and now they'll work it down the right side, trying to play on, and it looks like a big chance for a shot, and Cranston just goes wide. And the first good opportunity of the game, really, for Cranston, who's known for creating those breakaways and letting that big shot go. And right there, he lets one go that just misses, and that would have cut the lead to 1, but that puck gets worked out in front as it gets knocked off, and now trying to skate back the other way. Zal trying to poke at that puck, and it gets turned over into the defensive end, and Zal's gonna have to stick with it though as it gets retrieved and picked up by the Hounds, and now held in on the line as Jollymore will send that in. Grab now on the left side. Worked out and flicked over to the right side now and cutting out, and that puck picked up, and Cranston with it again. Cranston trying to get another break, and he cuts into the middle. He shoots, and that one's saved on the line. They're going to poke at it, but it's saved once again. So Cranston has 2 plays right down the middle. I mean, I'd call them breakaways, but he did have pressure on his back, and he basically just created the breakaway in tight for himself, which is impressive in its own right. He has 2 chances like that, and both of them saved here, and well done. I'm gonna have to grab the goalie's name here because he's playing fantastic for the Hounds. Has 2 chances to get back in this game for the Knights as that puck gets swung around and Abbott takes a swing, but it gets worked out of the zone, and then a nice interception there on the back end by Thorne, but it'll eventually come out to the left. Thorne chases after it, and that in behind. It looks like Hounds pick up on that on the right side. Grabbed onto. Worked up the left now and sent down into the zone, and it'll be a foot race for it. It is picked up by Abbott. Abbott sends that around and tries to head it over to McKinnon, but it gets worked back and then back down to McKinnon low. McKinnon gets tripped up in the zone and Abbott chases. Abbott helped take away the stick there of the player, and that gets worked out front. Puck's still loose, and then the goalie jumps on it and McKinnon stays with it. And I'm gonna get the name of this guy out here. Whoever, I'm not sure who it is, but good play for the awareness there on the right side to cut down and be there on the line. Down by the ringette line there, just cutting off those passes as the defense on the Knights try to clear it out. Good awareness there on the wing as that one gets worked back to the middle, and that'll be the end of the first period. And interesting period here as it's 2-0 Hounds. At the end of one, we'll be back for our 12-minute second period in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. All right, and we're back here for the second period after a short break in the action, and it was a good first period here as the Knights, who I believe were up 4-0 at the end of the first period last game, are now down 2, so playing from behind. Bowen Cranston on the draw here. That one won back cleanly, but it gets by Jollymore as he chases that into the corner. Jollymore picks up on that, works up the side, and chased out of the zone. Foot race for that. Kept in just barely as that one catches a shin pad, and now worked out in front. Big chance on the left side for a shot. Sent in. Rebound in front. Shot and score. And they score quickly into this one as Adam Zal sends the shot on. It creates a big rebound, and it's finished off there in front. I wasn't sure who got the last stick on it. You guys probably have a better view there at home as I'm looking through a 2-inch screen down here, and you guys are probably watching on what'll be a laptop or a TV or whatever you got it hooked up to, so a little tough to see that one, but I do know it ended up in the back of the net, and that's 2-1 now as the Knights get one early, and that's exactly what they wanted to do. As now it's worked into the middle, looking for the second one to try to tie it up. That one's shot just wide. Into the back left corner, they're gonna play for that, and it gets worked in along the boards, kept in there. Cranston out in front. He'll switch to his forehand and take a big slap shot, and that one's tipped away just at the last second as Zal goes into the corner trying to take on 2 Hounds players, but it gets worked up. Now the Hounds trying to send out for the breakaway pass, and it's picked up by Jollymore with a big play there as he was off and gone if that pass got through. And a good pick off there as it gets worked into the back right corner. Hounds now circling, and Zal kind of gives a little body work there to strip the puck, but it gets onto the stick of the opposite Hounds player regardless, and now they get worked out of the zone. Henneberry plays out over to the right side. Now worked in by the Hounds, picked off, and Cranston, Henneberry, and Jollymore, 3 Chebucto players out there on the ice together right now as Cranston takes a stick off the stick and works down the right side. He'll cut to the middle and looking for space. In on it, that would send it in a backhand goal, and what a goal that was to tie it up. Cranston with a beautiful play off the right side as he cuts to the net and just backhands that top shelf, and we had another good angle here. And this corner angle is kind of growing on me a little bit here as we were able to see that one go in and the tying goal find the back of the net. 2-2, just like that. So not even 2 minutes into the second period, the Knights bounced back, and we were all tied up. And not sure what that was, as the timekeeper worked some stuff out, and we're good to go here as that puck gets worked back into the defensive end for the Knights and circle back on by Thorne. Thorne gonna elect to hold on to it a little longer, work that around the right side. That bounces off the stick, just held in on the line. In behind now, Peyton McKenzie works it around. It gets intercepted there on the ringette line and trying to cut that out in front. Held on to, and McKenzie gets enough of that puck, and he'll still work at it. But now the Hounds try to play it out in front. They shoot that one, and a big rebound to the left side, but no one there to pick it up, so it gets back to the line. Now picked up, and that one turned over in the zone. Is Alec Dan now working it out. Dan cutting down for a breakaway. He'll hand that off. Dan handed that off to Abbott. My mistake is Abbott, the winger, using that speed to get down on it, but now it'll be worked back the other way. The black on gray numbers not helping me much here, up here in the booth, but I'm sticking with it, and I'm sure I'll know the players here in a few minutes as we continue on, as it just takes a few games, you know. As that one gets worked up into the zone. Dan now holds on, and he'll have to come back as his wingers had already went into the zone as he stopped up. Held back now and trying to cut it out the right. Intercepted and knocked off the puck there, what we can consider a hit on Abbott, but he'll get right back up and head to the bench, and it'll be Hounds puck as Cranston heads back on after scoring that tying goal just a few minutes ago. Held on to in the zone now, worked back. Cranston sends that over to Zhao with a nice hard pass on the left side as he receives that, but turns it over into the middle of the ice. And now worked up as they're looking to make a break here off the left side, and it'll be maybe a 2-on-1. They're going to try to hand that to the middle. It gets intercepted with a nice play there by Henry Thorne. Down the right side once again, chased after. Picked up in the defensive end now by Cranston as he works that over to Zhao with the wraparound, but that gets knocked off Zhao's stick onto the Hounds defenseman, and they're going to try to work that up the right side. Swung on there and worked into the half wall. Back now picked up by the Hounds. Send that around the left side. Zhao tries to find Cranston in the middle, intercepted and set back in, so the Hounds now hounding in the zone, and that's the only time I'll make that joke, but it finally comes out as Cranston tries to send that to the middle, and now worked back the other way. Turnovers in the neutral zone have been the story of the last few minutes as that gets worked up to the wall and will fall out, and you see some of the parents there along the boards throwing their arms up, wanting the penalty as that one gets worked in. Trying to clear it out there as Cranston takes a big swing at it, and it gets sent into the back right corner. Tried to play it in front, and that one turned over. McKinnon tries to get on it. Into the wall. Now, the top of the circle, it'll be a one-on-one for it, and it is one forward and chased after in the zone there. Picked up now in behind the net, and a nice turnover, looking to find the man in front. Nick Abbott send that one on, and it gets worked away into the back right corner now. Picked up and sent in by Jollymore. Now worked out in front, and the puck's still loose, looking for the shot. That one sent in and scored off the right side. The Knights take the lead on a wrister off a free puck there, and that's been the Knights' specialty so far, is just getting those little shots in on net and just shots from the tight. I mean, the fact of the matter is the goalies at this age are just not big enough to cover a ton of that net. So if you could get that initial shot off and then you put 2 or 3 bodies in front with it for the rebounds and just keep trying to elevate that puck over the pads and just work it by, you're going to score goals that way. Just the fact of the matter. And we just saw a prime example of that right there, is just sticking with that puck, finds in the back of the net, and it'll be 3-2 Knights as they've come all the way back here in the first 6 minutes of the second period as we approach halfway through the game. Cutting down the left side, stop up play there. Try to work out in front, that'll catch a shin pad. Now circle back by Abbott. Abbott turning on the Jets. He'll try to stick handle through the middle. It gets turned over, and now they'll still bring it on as Dan sends that one in low. And no penalties called yet this game. I think it's going to take a lot for them to be called at this point as that one gets worked into the middle and now down the right side. Heading back, looking for the shot. That one steered away. Henneberry works that around the left now and picked up by Dan. Dan elects to hold on and then just fire that on net. Retrieve now and looking for that breakout pass. It just misses the stick. That could have been dangerous, but instead it heads by, and it'll be an icing call here with 5:59 to go in the second. Here at the RBC Center, Pad A, a switch that was made initially on Pad D, moved to Pad A. But I gotta say, this setup's growing on me a little bit. As that gets worked into the middle, and they're gonna battle for it. Cutting down the right side now, just on. Drop back and worked back down with a nice little give and go pass. Now worked out in front, swung on, but fanned at an important moment. As that one's sent in out the left. Kept in the zone, and now back to the stick there. From number 27, Thorne. Thorne's had a strong game as that one gets sent down. It'll be an icing here to the Knights' end. We'll have a face-off here with 5:02 left to go in the second period. That gets worked over to the left side. Back in the zone there. Picked up and now worked to front. Big chance here for the Hounds as they swing at it, but stopped up, and a nice play right there by Peyton McKenzie is somehow didn't allow either of those Hounds players to get a shot off on that as they'll circle back in their zone, and McKenzie just managed to tie up 2 players in front on what would have been their best opportunity this period. Worked out the right side. Sent on down and chased back in the zone. Picked up now, skating in off the left. Into the offensive zone. They go into it, and I think it may have been, oh, the puck was sent into the bench there by an accident, so the coach will retrieve, and it'll be a face-off here in the Knights defensive zone. And it'll be Dan on the draw there. Jollymore back, but Hounds on it, and Jollymore, nice job creating that turnover as he gets it up to Dan on the right side. Try to push that forward. Skated into the zone and cut off. Back to Jollymore, who just flicks that down, leaving the rest of the Knights to tag up. And behind the net now, worked up the right side. That bounces back to the line, held on to. Henneberry rips a shot, and that one's tipped in the zone, and a nice save there on the left side, but puck's still loose. Sent in off the shin pad. Hounds break it out of the zone there on the left side, trying to beat him. Jollymore on him, hauls him down, and that'll be a penalty. As Jollymore got inside on it, it'll be touched up, and that'll be our first power play of the game here. As Chase Jollymore out there, you can hear him say, "I got him in the hip," but he'll be in the box regardless of his pleading. And something we had never seen, I don't know if you guys saw this the other day at home, but the Cal McCarr, when he got tripped up, and he said, no, I actually just fell on my own blade, and they canceled the penalty. So I think that might have been the only time in my life I've seen a canceled penalty. It's because the man taking the penalty said it wasn't mine. So the person who usually going to end up in the box doesn't win that argument. But Jollymore stopped a potential 2-on-0 there, so you also got to think of what's that right to play, but that gets worked out front. Shot and a big save there by Rogerson. And sent on down. Cleared out of the zone. And Rogerson's best save of the game by a long shot is a wide open in front and got a good one off. And he steers that aside, and now Zal will be taking on 2 players in the zone, trying to kill off this penalty. Now cutting up the right side with it. Looking for a lane, onside now. Dropping it worked out in front, and that one just by the right post there. As Cranston tries to get it open, it gets sent back to the line, and that one high in the zone. Over to the right side now, picked up. Gonna be looking to cut onto the net there. Shot on and a nice high save, but a big rebound in front that they just can't get on. And 2 good opportunities for the Hounds in the last few minutes here as we have 2:34 to go in the second. Sent out in front, big chance here for Zhao, shoots, save with the glove. Cranston picks it up in the back right corner. Zhao in on it. He'll wrap around with a spin around pass. That one steered aside, but puck gets knocked off there by Cranston. On the right side, it'll be fought for, and up the middle now. Picked up and cutting in for an attempt on an out-man rush. He's going to hand that off. A big saucer pass there in front is what I meant to say. Somehow, and another one there in front, it gets kicked out. As Cranston down the middle now, just onside. He'll shoot that on as the penalty still on the board here for another 15 seconds. Worked it behind. Now cutting out of the zone. Handed off to the right side. Skated out. Stop up play there. Sent over front. Big rebound. And that one gets steered aside as that was a nice play. And the penalty's over, so we're back to 5-on-5 and just in time as the Hounds were all over the Knights in the zone there as that puck gets sent on down. And the Knights managing to hold on to their 1-goal lead here with 1:14 left to go in the second, and a big collision there on the boards. Picked up by the Hounds in their zone. Grabbed there, worked over to the right side and kicked around as it comes back to the line, and now picked up, but now it'll be down the left side. Onside here, 2-on-1 the other way. Holds on for the shot, and that one misses over the left. Over to Jollymore here, who is coming back the other way, and he'll pick it up and bring it into the offensive end. That one gets steered off into the back left corner. Held on to now. Tried to work out in front and steered aside once again. As the kids play with the backdrop of the World Juniors advertisements. Kind of cool there as World Juniors are in town for the next few weeks as that gets worked out in front, steered off the stick and sent on down. On net. They're going to leave that puck with 20 seconds left to go here in the second. Picked up by Jollymore. Sends that to the middle and worked up the left side now by Abbott. Abbott brings that on in 8 seconds, so this will probably kill the clock in behind the net now. Picked up by the Hounds as worked into the corner there. McKinnon tries to play on it as well. McKinnon doesn't have time to send it out in front, and that'll be the end of the period there. So started down 2, end the period up 3. The Knights happy with that one. The Hounds happy with the pressure they were able to put on that power play, and it's anyone's game here heading into the third. 15 minutes, don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. All right, and we are back here for the third period of action as we will crown a winner in a big game to determine seeding with the Knights up 1. The Hounds looking to get a victory here on day 1 of the John Sim 2-line tournament over Christmas break here as that one spun around the other way and picked up by the Hounds cutting down the left side. Play that out in front, it gets picked off just in time and then spun around as McKinnon gets on it. Worked over to the left side now, looking for the outlet pass. That one onto the middle of Cranston stick, just offside. Zhao has that knocked away. Retreated now and picked up by McKenzie. McKenzie plays that up the right side. Brought in now, looking for a big slap shot. That one just misses, and good attempt at a shot there. That one had some power behind it for Adam Zhao. Some power and accuracy. A little bit of accuracy. I mean, it was in the upper part of the net region there, so it definitely had a chance of going in, and that's some accuracy and power you don't really see at this age too often. And if you can lock down a little bit more accuracy on that, you're going to score a lot of goals, which I'm sure he already has. As that puck gets worked down the right side now, just into the zone. Stop up play. Worked out in front, steered aside. Drop down in the zone, try to play that out in front. It gets worked by Cranston, who makes a nice defensive play there, covering his man, and over to the right side. Cranston now using that board as a battering ram, but it gets turned over, and now down the middle, Zhao on the right side, shot, rebound there on the left, and it gets picked off. Can't quite get on it. Zhao had a great opportunity there. It's probably best of the game for him as individually, as he gets worked in the zone. Sent on in behind. Held on to. Back to the line. Worked down the right side. Try to play that out in front. Steered away, and now over to Cranston, who's going to cut that down the middle, and Cranston picking up speed. He's got support on the right side as that one just goes by the stick, and Cranston helps create that turnover down low. Up the right side now, try to work out to the middle, picked up. Looking for a shot, that one in low, and it gets steered aside. Back in behind. Now down to Abbott. Now towards the middle. Sent on in. Grabbed and steered back to Jollymore. Worked into the middle, and now off the right side. Jollymore sends it around, and he'll take a bump, and he'll draw the penalty, as he definitely got thrown down in there in the corner. So power play coming as he's a little slow to his feet, but he is getting up under his own power. And it'll be a power play opportunity as Jollymore, kind of known as a player for his ability to rush that puck in. I'd classify him as a two-way defender at this point. Not offensive defenseman, not defensive defenseman, a two-way guy. As the Shabukto games we've done this year, we've seen lots of end-to-end rushes and scoring ability, but also very solid on the defensive end and never gives up on a play. So that's why I don't want to take away too much of his defensive side and say he's just an offensive defenseman. Lots of different categories players can be for a hockey player. I think that's what makes it such an interesting sport, as you try to mix and match these different types of players and see what the best combination is, and they all try to complement each other. And then sometimes you just get kids who are basically good at everything out there on the ice. As they try to work that out in front, puck's loose there on the right side. This is the first power play for the Knights as that one gets sent in. Puck's bouncing around, still loose, and it gets covered up. It was still a little loose there, but they'll get the whistle as the ref was on the other side. Lost sight of it. And then jumping down in the zone there, Alec Dan, I like that play as he clears out some of the snow that might be gumming up the puck there around the post. You don't see that every day. Down on the hands and knees saying, I think this stopped my last wraparound. As that one's won back by Cranston cleanly. Over to Henneberry. Henneberry shoots that and it misses on the left side. Worked over and tried to steer in front. That one on and off the stick of Pelkey in a hurry. As that one gets worked over to the right side. Skated down. into the zone there, chased after. Henneberry putting the pressure on. That one gets worked out for a nice direct pass. Big shot, that one steered aside. And the rebound in there, and another good save as Pelkey had a great opportunity and Zhao had the great rebound. And almost making a 2-goal lead here with 11:23 left to go in the third. They hang on to the 1-goal lead with 47 seconds left on the power play that Jollymore drew. Jollymore working that puck out to the defensive end. Down in the zone there to Jollymore now. Once again, as he'll circle back in the zone. Looking for a pass up the middle, and that one right onto the stick there of Cranston as he finds him. The two Shabukto teammates work back, and a big shot in there by Zhao, and what a good play there by Cranston as he gets knocked over, and that'll be going to the box. As frustrations flare, and Zhao also saying he should have drawn one, but I believe it might just be a 5-on-3 here. And it will be, so a 5-on-3 for 20 seconds for the Knights with 10:53 left to go in the third, and this is a big point in the game here. The winner of this gets 2 big points in the standings, and good opportunity for the Knights to go 2-0 heading into tomorrow, and it looks like a timeout called as they head to the bench, and that's the right call. Like I was saying, big opportunity here in the game. This is going to be the difference between 4-2, 3-2. Maybe we get a goal the other way. We don't know, but we know that there's 11 minutes left in the third, down 1, and you got to kill 20 seconds of 5-on-3, and then another 140 against a really good Atlantic Knights team. Looks like the coach down there on the Hounds side, calm, cool, collected. Not speaking with any aggressiveness or anything along those lines. Just casually talking to his guys. And I think this is a timeout here. That's just about to end. Yes, it is. They didn't have it up on the scoreboard, which is what they usually put up, the 30-second timer, but that is it for the timeout, and big point in the game here. So who do we got on the ice? We got Jollymore out there along with McKenzie on D, Cranston, Zhao, and Pelkey on forward, and here we go. Puck dropped in there, went back to the line. Jollymore rips the shot in, that went into the glove there, and it'll be covered up as the goalie tracks that all the way in. Off the face-off there, one back by the Hounds. Big play there with 10 seconds left in the 5-on-3, and they'll send that down. It'll get to Jollymore, and he'll wait for everyone to tag up and then work that over to the left side. Zhao holds back. Zhao now with a hard pass over to the right, and he just gets that through. Sent in by Pelkey, and that one over the net. Zhao chases down. It gets worked over to the right side to Jollymore. Jollymore just keeps it in, but it gets intercepted by the second Hounds man back, and that'll be sent on down. 1:24 left in the 5-on-4 here for the Knights. Grabbed in the zone, and a big pass there by McKenzie, who tried to send that one down, but it gets intercepted. Now poked back to the middle. Worked over to the left side now and sent on deep. That's wrapping around the end boards. Into the half wall and now into center. Just onside there as Cranston brings it in with 51 seconds left to go on the power play. Back to the line there on Jollymore. Shot on down. That one steered out in front. McKenzie there to take care of business, and it gets worked over to the left side. Zhao with it. Zhao hard over to the right, trying to find Pelkey, but it misses him on the stick, and it'll be a foot race down to it in the Hounds end with 27 seconds left in the power play. Chase back in the zone. Henneberry gets there. Henneberry circling around now. He'll hold on and shoot a hard one up the right side, and that one sent towards the left and turned over to the Hounds, sent in, and a good chance there. There's 5 seconds left on the power play. They try to get that up to McKinnon. McKinnon now works that to the middle. McKinnon sent that up to Abbott, but it gets flicked back the other way. It'll be 5-on-5, and now the Hounds work it down the right side. Chased into the zone. Wrapping in now back to the right. Just held in along the boards. And sent on back the other way, trying to find him. Gets steered back in the zone. Held on to, big shot in there. Nice save there by Rogerson as he steered that one high. They try to get that out in front, but gets turned back now, and a nice hard pass up the left side. They're going to try to work it out. 8:16 left on the clock, and he'll get shaken off. No arms up by the referees as Abbott tried to argue his case. He's now down the right side, and Cranston gets beat on the right, and now they're going to work it in. Looking for a chance here. Hounds, backhand on. That one high. As we head to the final 8 minutes of play here, the 1-goal game is kept in the zone there down the right. Looking to play it in front, held on to, worked across. That one in the skates. Can't get it free. As Zal gives a little push there to his man, and now another little push there to shake the man off. Good aggressive player down low there. Sent there, and they're going to go at it, and the puck's still loose, and they cut it in front. Cranston shoots, and a big pad save, and a huge save there. Biggest of the game, as Cranston had a surefire goal if he was able to get that by and over the pad, but it stays out. Worked around now, exiting the zone. Picked up now by Jollymore. Jollymore sends that up the right side and then worked into the middle. Just onto the stick and pushing that puck forward is McKinnon, and then worked over to Cranston. Cranston drops that puck back to Henneberry. That'll come outside the zone. It'll get turned over, and they could have the breakaway, but they hold on to it just a little too long. They're still going to have it, though. Up the left side. Sent on in. Picked up. Big chance there in front. Shot. Big save as Henneberry got caught looking, and the one-timer in front that could have been in the back of the net to tie up the game somehow stays out. Kept it on the left side now. Hounds working it out. They're going to cut to the net. Shot in. That one misses on the left. Picked up now by McKenzie as we're down the stretch here at RBC Center. And we have got ourselves an exciting ending here. As I can't believe that didn't end up in the back of the net. Grade A chance there in front. Flicked up. Caught up to by the Hounds. Working it down with some nice stick handles down the left side. Look for that play out in front. Gets turned over. Held on to it. Trying to find the man on the left side. He does. And now it's just about beating the defense. Cutting down. Knocked off the puck there, and he'll spin off. Nick Abbott, who's had a couple close calls, but just hasn't been able to get that perfect breakaway he's been looking for with that speed. Good winger out there, though, is he's picking up on that puck, and he's getting speed off the left side. Good left wing speed is always key, especially for those cross creases. You get a center that can finish, and that's a very valuable player. Worked in behind. Down low in the zone as they'll run into each other. Abbott, he's pulled off his wing, and it'll be up the right side now, trying to steer that ahead as the Hounds gonna push to the end of this game to try to tie it up. As that gets worked back in the zone, they go down, and he shakes a man off. Held on to now. Worked out and just gets that pass off and flick back the other way, but he doesn't have to wait and just send it in and accept the delayed offside as the forwards change up on the Knights. 5:16 to go in the game. Nice pass that gets intercepted up the middle, so not so nice is picked up now by Cranston as he tries to muscle that puck towards the front of the net. It's spun back the other way. Defense changing up there for the Knights, so they have plenty of players, but it gets turned over anyway. Down the left side. Trying to work it out in front, stopped up. Turned over. Cutting into the zone there, in behind the net. Worked out in front, that one falls off the stick, step back from behind, and that catches the back of the Knights winger. Now sent up looking for that pass, and it's just off the mark as they're looking for that Hail Mary pass. For any of you football fans out there, that's what I'd call the pass the Knights have been trying this third period. As now Cranston picks up on it in the middle. Trying to play that down. It gets worked in low. Cranston had a hat trick this morning. Worked back in the zone there. 4 minutes left to go here as clock ticks away. Cut out the right side. Just onside now. Held onto, worked out in front. That one batted around. They get a whack at it there, the Hounds, but it gets worked back in behind. Jollymore works that around to McKinnon. McKinnon now with it on the right side. He'll flip it ahead, and now it'll work it in, but it'll be covered up. That one's shot on and steered aside. Zhao grabs it in the corner, tries to play that back to Dan. Dan back down to Zhao. Zhao now hard pass out in front that no one can get to before the Hounds do, and now big shot there by Jollymore that gets tipped away and now could be going the opposite end. Good job by Jollymore staying with the man. Like I said, doesn't give up on a play, and he'll get tripped up and sent down low. The no call on the play sent into the end boards. Trying to shake the man off. In behind, worked out in front. They're all on it, and that one gets worked back in the zone. Held on to now and sent down by Henry Thorne. Henry Thorne had a big first 2 periods. It's been a little quieter this third period, but I guess that's what you want of your defense. If you don't hear from them, that's a good thing. At least that's what I tell myself when I'm watching my beloved Edmonton Oilers. And Darnell Nurse turns over the puck the 10th time. No, he's not that bad, but regardless, we continue on. 240 sent into the back right corner. Trying to wrap that puck in behind. It gets turned over, and we really are in the last few minutes of this game, and it's time to hang on. They've had the lead all along, and that puck just gets offside. Cutting towards the middle, handing that up to the left side. They're going to tip it ahead. Big chance for a shot in. Sent in, and a nice save there by the pad as that gets worked out of the zone. Trying to steer up ahead, and a nice play there by McKenzie to turn it back the other way. McKenzie saving a potential odd man rush the other way as they're circling back. Cranston stays on it, but it gets sent in still. Puck's loose there in the middle, gonna poke at it by Henneberry. Worked into the left side, and they're gonna be able to get it out. Chased after. Cranston on that puck as well. Worked around, we've got 1:39 left to go in the third period, and this is it here. There's a lot of play here in the Hounds zone the past few minutes, which is good for the Knights as they had about a 5-minute stretch there about from the minutes 10 to 15, so about 5 minutes into the period where they were giving up some heavy chances, and they've stifled any of those in the past 5. Worked back to the line. Sent in, that one tipped high in the zone. Big shot in, and that one misses on the left side. Picked up in behind, try to play it out ahead, and it gets stopped up. Worked up the right and picked off, sent in towards the middle. Skied it after. In along the boards there, retrieved, and we're going to put down to a minute of play here, so it's all or nothing here for the Hounds as they got to work that puck out. And Zhao trying to do a stick lift. They get it off to the right side, and they were about to pull the goaltender here until the offside got called. So 53 seconds left on the clock here, as we're going to look to crown a winner in this one. A 1-goal game, and a good game it has been from both sides. And if the Hounds do end up losing this game, I'll have some sort of sympathy for the goaltender, as he's been phenomenal in down the right side and just playing his edges perfectly. Better than some of the beer league goalies I play with. He's hugging that post. Made a lot of stops from that side, and that gets worked back in the zone. 37 seconds to go. Rogerson going to leave that. Picked up now by McKenzie. A big play here up the left side. That one gets turned over, and the Hounds work it in. Shot in high and tipped aside. Rogerson with a massive save with 30 seconds left. And the best shot they've had in the past 7 minutes comes with 30 seconds left, and then Rogerson is up to the task. 25 seconds left now. Officially on the clock here in chilly Rinke at the RBC Center. As that gets worked over to the right side. 22 seconds. They're going to have to work quick, try to play it out in front, and a nice interception there by McKinnon, who played that forward. And now it's a big pile of bodies as they look to get the last 14 seconds killed off. And good play there by Abbott as Abbott just backhands it down low, and there'll be 5 seconds to go. 4 seconds and in along the boards, and it looks like the Knights will come back from the 2-0 deficit and win it. And it's 2 big wins to start the day, and they have a nice celebration down there, and they deserved it with a hard-fought win for the Knights. It looked like the Hounds were having the edge going into that second period, and they just scored 3 within the first 4 minutes, and it was all Knights from there on out. A nice tight win, and you want to get those tight wins in these tournaments because you don't want to just blow out any team, because then when the time comes for an intense moment, you don't know how you're going to act in that. So play with your back against the wall and come back. Good things only for this solid Knights team as the goaltender there picks up the MVP rightfully earned, and we'll just wait here as the Zamboni starts to peek on in the back end there as they're ready to go. And Rogerson with the win here as he gets the MVP award rightfully earned with some big saves, especially down the stretch. But that'll be it here on High Button Sports for our second game. We appreciate you tuning in to our coverage today of the Atlantic Knights. We'll be back tomorrow. The Knights 2-0.